How I woke up as a 35-year-old loser and how you can avoid it. Damn. Boom. Today we're watching inspiration videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know why I'm doing this. That's a lie. I know why I'm doing this.
You know what? I don't know really why I'm doing this as well. Why am I streaming? Nobody's chatting and I'm acting a bit schizo.
I'm doing this because I feel helpless.
And I don't think here is the right place to find help though.
And there's a kind of power in talking about problems. And I'm also kind of narcissistic, so I want to share it with all of you. I recently made the decision to stop smoking in my live streams because I think it's a
Stop smoking in live streams, but not stop smoking at all.
moral. A lot of the people watching them, they're gaming live streams. A lot of people watching them are kids, so I think it's not moral
Good. You're improving, man. You're getting there.
to smoke while you're doing that in front of those people. But I'm not going to push this out to my subs, so. And I'm still smoking. And if I'm going to do something like this, there's just no way I can do it without smoking. So if you're
Wait, doing what without smoking? I missed the point.
not moral to smoke while you're doing that in front of those people, but I'm not going to push this out to my subs, so. And I'm still smoking. And if I'm going to do something like this, there's just no way I can do it without smoking. So if you're a kid, let this be the first lesson. Don't smoke.
Oh,
I don't know what's going to happen to me 10 to 15 years from now.
damn.
Statistically speaking,
Straight up
it's not
lessons.
looking
Holy
good.
shit. I thought
But
he will need a therapy. This is like switching now to him giving therapy to his fucking viewers. Whoa.
I quit very soon. It's on my list of things to do. But I apologize for even doing this, but
You should, man.
I'm weak and I need to do it if I'm going to do what I want to do here.
What the fuck? Wait. So he decided. I think this is fucking proper troll fucking video. What the fuck? He said, I decided not to smoke anymore in my videos or some shit. And then he does this.
I'll probably smoke 10 of them before this is over. So I am a 35-year-old loser.
Boom.
And there's no.
That's a very good way to start a therapy session, by the way. Admitting something. He's doing well so far.
Getting around that fact.
Not with the smoking, though. Quitting smoking. In his videos.
I spent all of my 20s and half of my 30s so far doing almost nothing productive.
Me. My 20s. Spend on this, man. I spend on this shit. Hell yeah, man. That was productive shit, man. I'm happy with it, man. Keep exercising, guys. Keep exercising. Don't smoke. Don't vape. Drink water. H2O. Very important. Mm.
I smoked pot. I watched porn.
Oof. Oof.
I played video games.
Damn. That's
Smoked
us, man.
cigarettes,
That's us. The viewers. He just.
I played video games.
He just.
Smoked cigarettes, got drunk.
Okay, so what's the change,
I
man?
never
Tell me.
took the time to really invest in my future,
Boom.
my finances, skill sets, knowledge bases, all that.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
It's not that I have no knowledge or skills. but none of it's very marketable. It might be marketable for something like YouTube, but I'm old enough to know, and I'm old enough to the point where I don't have the luxury of time where I can bet on YouTube or content creation or whatever to pay off.
Okay.
I'm going to do it. No matter what I do, I'll make room for this in some capacity just because I just feel like I need some kind of like creative, comedic kind of outlet. So, but I recognize that it's not the kind of thing that you can bank on making a living off of. And even if you get lucky, and maybe you're making good money for like a 5-year period, that can go away overnight. So I'm not putting all my eggs in this basket only because it makes zero sense. If I was 20, 25, I could do it more with less risk, but I'm not. I'm not even 30.
Okay, you're yapping.
I just turned 35 here. And I know that the 40.
Okay, so what's the verdict?
Shrink. Your options rapidly.
Yeah, once you grow older, your options shrink. Yes, you don't have much time. Pensions coming. You need to invest into your future.
Wage my own anxiety by talking about this.
Okay.
And maybe.
Holy shit! His cigarette, by the way, is burning real slow. Or is this like his second one already?
Goal. I can impart a little bit of advice to people who maybe can benefit from it. The number one thing: don't smoke. The number one thing.
Don't smoke. Yeah. Guys, don't gamble, and then proceeds to fucking gamble. Guys, don't gamble. And then fucking opens a case. This guy's mentality, from what I'm getting so far, he just said, I'm going to quit smoking, and guys don't smoke, and he does it. So what he's going to do is he's going to yap about this and do nothing about it. Is that what's going to happen? He just gave up on his life? We got fucking 50 minutes to digest. I'm not going to watch this all, man.
To you is if you're in your 20s,
fuck, man.
Those 20s go by real fast.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, watching porn and fucking anime and shit.
Your future as early as possible, because every year that you don't is a year you'll never get back, and it's 1 year less you'll have to play with later, if you do eventually decide to get your shit together.
Yeah, man.
So start early, because I can guarantee you, if you don't, you will regret it. I'm experiencing it firsthand. I guess I should probably just like tell all here.
Yeah, do it.
5 years old.
You said it again.
We're actually living in my grandfather's house. Not to besmirch my mother, but we both kind of fucked up with our money. Although she's doing a lot better than I am. She worked for many years in a good career, so she has money a little bit.
Good.
Social Security, so she's okay. I think. I hope. But I've never left home.
Damn.
And I've never told anybody this. So if my friends see this, it's gonna be embarrassing. I worked. I wasn't a total NEET. Back in the day in high school, I worked in Burger King. Looks like I'm going to be working there again real soon. After that, I worked retail a couple of years, delivered pizza a couple of years, loved that job. Pay wasn't amazing, and with the, I deliver with my own vehicle. By the way, if you're ever thinking about delivering anything, pizza, whatever, never do it with your own vehicle. Crazy dream job, and even then, who wants to be a pizza delivery man until they're 50? I'm probably
okay, delivery guy, man. Okay,
which is not a lot.
Why is this so?
Barely 35 hours a week.
Why is this so? Okay, why is this so trendy now? Not trendy, but like, why is this so popular? This video, 600k views, a little gloomy, but not without optimism. Lots of parallels plus 8 years. I look forward to the series. This is YouTube at its best. Someone being real and connecting with their audience. Better days ahead. I like the community. They're supportive. Check this one out. Yeah, man. That's good. Hey, YouTube gave me a fucking clickbait, though. Is this another clickbait?
I got laid off last December.
Okay, man.
It's finally starting to set in for the first time. And I have got to be honest, it is absolutely terrifying.
What's terrifying?
One piece of advice I could give is, unless you're smart enough and disciplined enough to treat it correctly and maybe only treat it as like a stepping stone, do not take a nepotistic job. again, I can't speak for everybody. Some, you got a family business, like a family-owned business, and you're working for your parents, or that's fine, whatever. But if you get an in a company, especially if you get an in their department with a family member, especially if they're in a position of authority, I don't even know how they allow that kind of shit. But like, I wouldn't allow that in my company. But don't go for it, because I worked at this place for 12 years, basically my entire 20s and a little bit into my 30s, most of my 20s and a little bit into my 30s, and I'm not going to totally blame the nepotism. I'm not trying to blame my mom here, but I can speak from experience, at least for me. Again, it might not apply to everybody, but for me, the nepotism thing, it just, the whole time I was working there, it was this extremely toxic
environment. Okay.
I knew I didn't belong there. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I could do the job. It's not a hard job, but I got there from someone else, and as a result, I never appreciated it. I always took it for granted.
Yeah, but you got the easy way in, right? Family business or some shit. Got through family. Well, you were not happy in it. You had toxic stuff, but it was comfortable, right? Because you didn't have to go stress through interview. You don't have to go through all that stuff, blah blah blah. You just got it like that. And then yeah, toxic environment, because shit happens, man. I mean, it's job. The more you learn about the job, the more stuff you realize about it. That they're trying to use you. But hey, every job is different. I can't speak to everyone, but yeah, man. Then you might jump into a toxic environment. You better get out. Did you get out? So when did you realize it's toxic? Are you gonna?
I was lazy. I was late every single day.
Yeah, lazy. Exactly. That's another point. Lazy, not going to work. I mean, would it have been different in a different place? Not showing to work, playing games till late, fucking getting late to work. That could build a toxic environment as well. And like, when other people will start seeing that shit, they're not gonna appreciate it. They're gonna, pressure you. You're gonna get toxic shit in your work if you're not gonna do your work.
Minutes late. They were pretty chill about that kind of stuff. Like, you get in like 10 minutes late.
Pretty chill, yeah.
And I push that shit every day, 30 minutes.
Exactly. And then people will start hating you because they'll have to do the job for you.
Number of hours I needed to, although not diligently, but I would show up late constantly.
Yeah.
And while they may not say it to your face, all of your coworkers are thinking it exactly what you're thinking. This fucking loser. And,
exactly.
As a result, you can, like, even if you wanted to, which to be fair, I didn't, because I've been depressed and a pothead the whole time, Coomer. But even if I wanted to be friends with my coworkers, I'd have to really, really work, because you're always in that scenario kind of looked down upon a little bit. Rightly so. I'm not blaming them. And I did myself no favors by not really applying myself and just coasting the whole time, which just made it worse. Like, I was just confirming their prejudice and stereotype. I was just living up to it. I was just, yeah, that's who he is. That's what he is. And I didn't care about the job. I didn't appreciate it. I could have worked my way up the ladder a little bit, gotten more responsibilities, applied myself. I'm a smart guy. I like to think I'm a relatively well-spoken guy. I could have navigated the corporate environment, hierarchy. I even had my supervisor, who fired me and I think didn't like me by the end of it. She only been my supervisor for like a year, my manager for like a year before I got fired. At first, she liked me, and she even spoke well of me.
Boom. Can I assume, my opinion, new manager comes in, new manager really stressed about their work. They want to do everything right. Have a good team to work on goals and shit. And then, yeah, for a month, they give you a month. They see how you perform. If they don't like their worker, they say you have to go. And did that happen? Probably, yeah. Probably, that's what happened, mate.
Me to the owner of the company. She said I was smart and stuff. By the end of it, when she got to know me and got to work with me for a year and a half.
You didn't see after a month?
By the end of it, I don't think she probably thought I was smart, but she knew that I had many other qualities that kind of...
Wait, what? He said she was his manager for a month, and then he got fired?
Scenario kind of looked down upon a little bit. Rightly so. I'm not blaming them. And I did myself no favors by not really applying myself and just coasting the whole time, which just made it worse. Like, I was just confirming their prejudice and stereotype. I was just living up to it. I was just, yeah, that's who he is. That's what he is. And I didn't care about the job. I didn't appreciate it. I could have worked my way up the ladder a little bit, gotten more responsible environment.
Yeah,
However,
yeah. So tell me now.
I even had my supervisor who fired me and I think didn't like me by the end of it. She only been my supervisor for like a year, my manager for like a year before I got fired.
Oh, a year. I
At
thought
first,
a
she
month.
liked me and she
Okay,
even spoke
my
well
bad.
with me. She probably thought it's a problem,
My
and
bad.
it's ultimately your responsibility to deal with that. Like, as in a business, no one cares that you're depressed. That's your job. You're just there to make them money. They don't
True.
care about your personal problems.
Of
That's your
course.
responsibility.
And that's how you should walk to your work. Put your personal problems away. That's the best way. That's the best way. If you have personal problems, you can handle them. You can break down at work. You need some help. You need to seek for some help. That's
your
my
problems
take.
are your problems. An
Yeah.
employer, they don't give a shit, and they shouldn't give a shit. It's not their responsibility. If they gave a shit about that, they wouldn't be making money.
Yeah, they shouldn't give a shit. There's therapists that should give a shit about that. And then you should seek for that.
When you come to a workplace, when you come to a profession, a career, whatever, you're presenting yourself as an asset to a team to help that team make money.
Yeah. True.
And anything that undermines your ability to be an asset to that team, it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter if you have a sob story. It doesn't matter if you really can justify it and give a good explanation for why you
Doesn't
are where
matter.
you are. It doesn't matter. Money talks, bullshit walks. You need to perform. And they're not there to be your friend. They're not there to be your counselor. They're not there to be your mommy or your daddy that you didn't have. They're there to make money, and you're there to help them make money. And they're going to pay you some of that money. I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was talking about now. This is right. Another reason, don't smoke pot. Another advice, don't smoke pot.
Whoa,
So
whoa,
stupid. I
whoa.
haven't
You
smoked in a
just
little bit.
jumped like
Like 15 minutes.
you just jumped somewhere else.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I worked there for 12 years. Didn't apply myself. Never got promoted. Got a few raises to keep up with inflation, barely. Didn't probably. But I did not get promoted because they were out to get me. I didn't get promoted because I offered nothing worth promoting. And then, because of that, this most recent round of layoffs, I'm sure most of the department that I worked in is probably still working there because they had their shit together. A couple of them, I know, there was like 2 or 3 people who got laid off around the same time I did, and it was already a lean department. There's probably only like 3 or 4 or 5 people left.
Right, you got
But,
fired.
I'm sure most of them, if not all, are still there because they're good.
Cool.
About $20,000, $25,000.
What about
4
that?
months later, I turned 35 years old. I couldn't keep my job, but other people did. So, call it fired if you want.
Wait, did you just get fired
Then,
now?
About 6 months later, I turned 35 years old.
Okay, so that's now.
And when I
Basically.
got fired, I had a small 401k, about $20,000, $25,000. And I did. I cashed it out. I used it to pay off my car, which is one good, probably the only good financial decision I've ever made, is to pay off my car. My car has less than 70,000 miles on it, and it's a Toyota, so that could probably last me a little while if I take care of it. Don't have a car payment anymore. I do, however, have credit card debt and a personal loan, totaling about less than $10,000 in debt. But last couple of months, and again, I am laying it all out here. This is embarrassing.
Yeah,
to say.
this is very private, man.
missed
This is
payments,
fucking very
still doing
personal.
my
I'm
job.
thinking
Why
like
don't you
I'm
have a job? 'Cause I'm
fucking
idiot. I have been looking.
getting to know
I
this
just
guy
went to
too
Cumberland
close.
Farms for an interview that I had scheduled, and they
Yeah.
weren't even hiring. Isn't that great? You apply on Indeed, they automatically enroll you for an interview. You spend all this time filling out these forms. You schedule the interview, but you never actually dealt with the person. And I show up.
True.
Lady has no idea what I'm talking about. Apparently, the computer systems. I'm assuming they simply just didn't take the time to toggle a setting to not automatically interview people. But either way, it's still on me because I knew in the back of my head I haven't talked to a person yet. I feel like there's not a security to this interview because I haven't spoken to a human being yet, and maybe I should call them or something. And I never did. And then a few days later, I show up bright and early at 9 a.m., which for me is very difficult right now because my sleep schedule is so messed up. I'm basically up all night, and I show up there half asleep but trying to look presentable and for Cumberland Farms. And no interview, no idea what I was talking about. And for a minute, I was really crestfallen. Part of me was relieved because I don't want to work at Cumberland Farms. And I went home.
Okay, man. Okay.
And I was just like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I was distraught when I got home. By the time I got home, I kind of calmed down. And I was like, whatever. And I was looking at my Indeed resume. And I applied to a couple of places that were kind of similar to what I used to do. Haven't gotten any calls back on those.
So is he blaming the family's business or whatever for this shit?
I have to rapidly learn. But
He doesn't have enough
Indeed resume,
CV shit
I read it out loud. I'm not
to get a new
I
job.
read it out loud, and I read it to my mom, and she listened, and we both kind of agreed. She, her obviously, she told me, and I kind of agreed and felt good about that. It was a good description of my job, right? You put your job in the resume, the years that you were there, and then you have a little blurb explaining what you were doing. And it's kind of a way to both signal the kind of work you were doing, but also the kind of person you are through the way you present it, with writing and persuasive writing, marketing yourself a little bit without being clumsy
Okay,
about it.
this is not about that point, man. It's about
Really only been looking for
interviews, man. You go to interview and you fucking fail because you don't know what to say. Your resume is fucking looking amazing, and then you go there and you just yap, and then they say no, 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 no.
And I'm not trying to
fuck off.
look down on anyone who works there. I'm just saying in terms of the marketability of skills and experience, it's better than if I had just worked at Walmart the whole time.
Yeah.
So after I discussed this with her, my mother, who I live with, I made the decision, well, maybe I shouldn't set my sights so low, right? Maybe I shouldn't just go to Cumberland Farms. I'm going to have to work retail or something in the short term just because I need money. I need income. But at the same time, I've been applying to these more adjacent positions at companies, title companies, mortgage companies, banks, that kind of thing. And in doing this, I've my sights were set on something a little higher and more ambitious than retail, because I realized, like, retail, especially 35 years old, you think, oh, I'm just going to do it for a year or two, I'll get my feet under me, and then you wake up at 50 years old and you're still working retail. It's really easy, especially if you make it work and you get enough jobs and you put enough hours together that you can pay your basic rent at a shitty apartment. And then because you're working so many hours and it's so soul crushing, the jobs that you're doing and the compensation you're getting, you have no energy left or ambition left. Sure. Energy, happiness, good vibes left to get out of it, to go to school, to set your sights higher, to start a business, whatever it is. It just becomes
you do, man.
And you're also
fucked
at the end of it that the effort required to get out of it is just too much. And the older that you get, the less energy you have, so that it just compounds and compounds. So while I was in this headspace of
you just cut off, man.
My abilities and capabilities.
I think you just went to yapping station and now you just cut it off.
For Burger King. I'm not going to name the field, only because if I do get into this, I want as much as possible to keep my professional and my streaming life separate. So I'm not going to give too many details on the exact field. I feel bad about this.
Got really personal. I don't know what he's talking about. His streaming and personal life, man, or professional life. We got really, really deep into this shit. He just exposed himself to we were the therapist, and he just exposes problems to us.
Because I want to be totally open and honest, but at the same time, just for risk mitigation, I have to be a little bit opaque about this. But suffice it to say, the field is, business oriented, kind of, not business owning, but business oriented. And if you spend your time to upskill and all that, and you put in crazy hours for a few years, and you're really driven and hungry, you can make decent money. Not millionaire status, but you can make a few $100,000 if you're really good and you go to higher levels. But even at the lower and mid levels, you can make, high 5 figures, sub 6 figures,
What are you yapping about?
So I kind of considered getting into it.
Yeah. Consider, mate.
So then when you decide to get into something like this, you research everything, you look up all the pros and cons, you read Reddit posts by people who are doing it. And, I get a lot of mixed messages. Some people hate their job. Some people like it. Some people say AI and outsourcing and all this is replacing everything. Some people say it isn't. And I'm in this situation now where I'm 35. I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, man. I think that's a very good point. You're 35. You don't have much skills. AI is there to help you, man. If you have a vision, let AI help you build it. Maybe invest some money, put some money into, getting a proper AI that can do stuff for you and just work for your dream. I think that's the best risk you can take right now, because AI can do wonders right now. Just need to put the good thoughts into it and see how you can, use it. Learn how to use it. I think in future, and they will be looking for people that know how to speak with AI. So you achieve actually the best results. So the way you speak to AI, right? It gives the best results, the fastest results. The way, let's say, you need to build a project that involves development, you become the development lead, and you actually lead AI or multiple AI agents, just sharing your ideas to them, to those AI agents, and tell them to make it work, and that's it. You don't need to know knowledge and study, go to university, spend fucking 5 years programming. You're now there just telling the AI what to do. I think this is a great opportunity for these people who feel hopeless, 35 years old, don't have enough skills. Just stop. And he's good vocabulary. His vocabulary is good, right? He speaks well. Maybe his thoughts drift, away from the main points, but I think everyone has these things when you're open, when you're trying to be as open as possible. So yeah, I think AI is the shit. Could fix you, man.
Do I want to do this thing? Do I want to do that thing? There's a couple of options, but they all require like many years of school. Maybe not a lot. Maybe you only need 2 to 4 years of school. Some of them maybe 5 or 6, which is not just a time commitment, which is important when you're this age, but also it's a money commitment with student loans and. And then I'm reading these horror stories about the job market, which I know the job market today isn't going to be the job market 5, 10 years from now, but it could be worse. I mean, who can get away with that for like 2 to 3 so a community college associate's gen ed degree? It took me 4 years to get a gen ed degree from a community college. Roll libshits in college. So I was just like culturally, I wasn't built for it. And I hate sitting in a goddamn classroom. I'm just not that kind of person. So I didn't go to college, really. And I didn't really get a degree. And more importantly, I didn't get any real experience or skill sets or marketable skill sets in my 20s that I could now leverage in my 30s. And again, you hear people, I've read these stories, I'm going to try to keep it vague, of people with like 15 years experience all over, an industry, high certifications, high credentials, and even they are having a hard time finding work. So then I'm thinking about now at 35, just potentially getting into it, not really being done with my schooling until like 39, 40 years old. It's going to take, if I want to get a bachelor's, it's going to take at least 4 years. And if I'm doing that while I'm working full time, am I going to get it done in 4 years? Maybe it takes me 5 or 6. But for a brief moment when I had decided to do this thing,
I'm gonna share my experience. Don't go to uni, it's a waste of time. Just go to fucking Udemy or something similar. Purchase a course, pay fucking on the discount £20, whatever, fucking 22 euros, and you're gonna learn more from there than from fucking whole uni, 3 years of uni. Unless you're very, very motivated to actually do something, very keen, you want to jump into it and actually, let's say a subject is law and you want to know everything about law and be a lawyer or something. Yeah, man. I mean, university is the thing. Then you know, it's for you. But for us gamers, for us these guys who just like to be lazy, I think uni is the waste of time. You're gonna spend fucking 80% of the time, instead of fucking learning in uni, you're gonna be 80% of the time gaming, and then just slacking off. So I think that's the waste of time. So yeah, if you really want to learn something, just get some Udemy and then set yourself a task, something like Udemy course, right? Set yourself a task to go through all of it, and then you'll be done there. I mean, very important thing: pick a good course. Pick a good course that will tell you that you're gonna work on a project at the end of it, and also pick a latest one, because don't pick old ones. The technology is moving fast. Always pick the freshest ones available on the market with a good reviews and a project at the end, and then you'll be good to go, man. Build the project, push it into somewhere visible that you can show it to the employer, either on a computer, on a website somewhere, that you can show the project, whatever it is, and then just go to interviews. Just maybe link if you have a website, you link that to your CVs and that, so then people can actually see your work, your portfolio. Build the portfolio from that. I don't think university degrees are that important right now. It's about how much work you are willing to put and what kind of asset you're gonna be to the team, as he's speaking, right? You're gonna be slacking off. You're gonna be sleeping, like getting in late at work, and yeah, not providing what they expect you to provide. Then yeah, no point of hiring you, right? So you need a good attitude, some projects under your sleeve, and yeah, you need to agree. Unless you're really willing to dig and then invest fucking 5 days into studying and like chasing lectures and reading books and that in library. Uni is the only place to go find some friends and you know, drink and party. That's my experience.
A lot of the anxiety went away because I had direction that I was going to do something. But now I'm back to kind of feeling crestfallen. I didn't think about this initially. I didn't think about this until tonight, actually, and it's one of the reasons I'm doing this. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a streamer. I want to play video games. I want to crack jokes.
Whoa.
I want to do stuff like this. Talk.
Let's do this.
Chill.
Come on.
And meet people, talk to people. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to do that as a full-time job, and like I said earlier, like even if you manage to get lucky and turn it into a full-time job, you never know, which way the winds are blowing in terms of your audience. You could be really relevant and successful for a year, 2, 3, 5 years, and then no one cares anymore. You're too old.
Misgift. So successful. Everything's going fine. Bam. I think he's not relevant anymore. He's going down. He's going down. He digged himself a big hole. Now it's time for... And yeah, I'm not going to say that. Let's go.
You get lazy, whatever, just the niche that you're in just is no longer viable. Like I want to do largely like video game kind of stuff. And then I'm reading lately that Gen Alpha doesn't play video games. They're playing all mobile games now. No one plays video games. So I'm like, I don't think video games will ever go away.
What?
And gamers are aging with me. Like the average gamer is like my age now. But, things like that can happen. Algorithmic changes. You say something you shouldn't and you get demonetized or banned. I mean, I want to be kind of a funny guy, so there's that risk as well. You're still working when you're a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or whatever. There are other places like Rumble and Kick, but the two main games in town are Twitch and YouTube, and those are often worked together in tandem with each other in the streamer kind of thing. And you're working for a couple of bosses, either of which could fire you at any time. And if you're trying to be a funny guy, maybe a little edgy, there is that risk that you want to follow their guidelines and they can just turn it off overnight and you are fucked. So while I definitely do want to...
Well, okay. It's good that you brought this up, but just hope you don't think about this too often. You can bring this up like once or twice, but I mean, if you're gonna keep thinking about it, might as well just stop streaming. If you can be yourself, if you're gonna keep thinking I shouldn't say this and that, and then you're not gonna be true to yourself, like you're not gonna enjoy what you're doing because you will be restricted, then yeah, fuck you, man. I mean, if you're gonna keep thinking about those things, it's good to know them, but never keep saying like, oh, I can't be myself because of this and that and that. Go to Kick. Yeah, go to Kick, man.
Do this YouTube
if
thing.
You really want to do some fucking edgy shit.
And I do want to create stuff, stream, crack jokes, whatever. I can't look at it. And again, if I was 20 or 25, sure. If I was 20, try it out, do it. If you get banned or it doesn't work out in 5 years, you're 25. You can do something else. But now I'm 35. So again, we come back to that. Once you get over that 30, it's like your time. You don't have time anymore. Or you do, but it's a lot less. And you have to start thinking more strategically about what you do with your time. And things have to have more immediate returns for you to consider them, because more immediate and secure returns to consider them, because you don't have the time. You don't have the time. You have less energy. So I was feeling really good about this potential new career path I had identified for a minute, for a few days. I was feeling really good. And I was like, I'm going to do this. It's going to work. I'm going to do YouTube on the side. Maybe I can build the YouTube while I'm working this thing and have dual incomes maybe or something. And then today I realized that being a content creator, especially not being a milquetoast kind of corpo advertiser friendly content creator, is a big risk. Because, you could piss somebody off, the employer could find the YouTube channel, whatever. Somehow your content creator identity gets back to your employer.
wear a
And
mask.
depending on the job, depending on the industry, depending on the position, how high up or low down it is, that could be a problem. You could get fired for that. They could not like some of the jokes you were making, not like some of the topics you're discussing. Um, and when I realized that, it kind of took all the wind out of my sails, because for a few days I was riding high. I was like, oh, I think I finally have some direction. It's practical. It's tangible. It's realistic.
He's getting
okay.
popular. I think everyone's gonna see the 600 views, man. That's it, man. Your boss gonna see you, see that you've been like this. You got fired many times. Whatever. Been lazy at work. That's it, man. Job gone. Stay as a creator.
Hey, it's a real thing. But if I pursue
Wait. He said how you can avoid it. Did he mention anything how we can avoid this shit?
this, does that mean
I think it's all about yapping session about his personal problems here. Again, finding out about life, that if I'm gonna be a streamer, everybody's gonna see my face. Straight up, man. Straight up. Everybody's gonna see my face. Harry Mack, he has 3 million views. Now he's being recognized everywhere he goes. But let's say a year ago, people didn't know who he was, and he had like 1 million views, not views, subscribers. Not many people knew who he was, right? Maybe more in America, not much in Europe. He went to Europe, he did some tours in Europe. Now more people know him, 3 million. But even then, when he had 1 million views, right, he still, not everyone knew him. So I don't think you should be stressing about like being recognized by a boss or something. I think, I mean, it depends. If your boss is a gamer, you might, but I doubt that.
to quit doing this. Now, I haven't even really started doing this. I mean, I'm super early in this process of YouTube and content creation and all that. But if I go deeper, if I spend 4 or 5 years in school, and all the while I'm working on this YouTube thing and it starts picking up, what happens? What happens if I spend that time and money to go to school, get my degree, come out, get a job, and then I lose it in a year, 2 years, because I got doxxed or canceled or whatever? So then I was like, well, then I have to choose then. Like, I have to do this thing or I have to do YouTube.
No. What?
Neither option is viable.
Oh
If I just do
man, this
thing
guy
on
is
YouTube, I might
overthinking.
as well just kill myself now. I'm not advocating that. Suicide is horrible, and you're devastating the lives of everyone, and people you don't even know will be harmed. And it's a temporary solution to it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. But if I had to give up YouTube or content creation entirely, I would be miserable. I'd be working this job. I wouldn't be making a shitload of money, and I would always feel like I'm leaving my soul on the table. Like I'm taking my soul out, and I'm putting it in an envelope, and I'm handing it to my employer, and he's taking it and putting it in a drawer. And in exchange for that envelope with my soul in it, he gives me a paycheck each week. And probably not even a great one, to be honest. Probably just barely enough to afford a studio.
So this guy is being a smartass, but being a smartass, too over smartass. I mean, he's just overthinking. He just explains everything like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can earn almost millions, climb the ladder. But no, but that's not what I want. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a streamer. And then, but if I stream, then I can't do my job. He's just overthinking. Okay, if you're gonna be really popular, if you're gonna become really popular, right? And then people will recognize you. Your boss will start recognizing you, and people will start recognizing you. I don't think you'll need to be working anymore. I think with that, you'll be sorted. You'll have enough money, maybe not money, but enough people watching you to actually get some money to start living off that. Especially when he lives with his mother, doesn't know, I don't know if he's paying rent, like contributing to that, he has a car and stuff. 7,000 miles doesn't sound like he drives at all. So probably best to get it sold and then just invest it into whatever it is, like streaming and his job. Keep working on stream, keep working on content, keep working on a job, and then see where that goes. Thing is just he's being too smart. Like and now he's stuck in that shit. He's stuck. He's like, I have to choose between two. No, you don't. You still have so much time. You have 24K now subscribers. Still have so much time to actually you know, grow your content, grow your community. I mean, when did PewDiePie start streaming? He was already a bit of a geezer. Not streaming, but like creating videos. PewDiePie was already like older than us who just started getting into the fucking YouTube and that. But yeah, I think he's just overthinking here now.
And I just can't do that. I cannot do that. But equally, I cannot just be a YouTuber for the reason that
Stinkeridi, yo, what's up? What's good? Thank you for the follow. I'm just yapping, looking at the other people trying to become content creators. What's good? How's it going?
the odds of even getting to a point where you're making a decent enough living at it, it might not happen. You know, it's very risky. It's very uncertain in terms of it ever actually taking off. And even if it does take off, it's very fickle. You know, at any moment you could get. I mean, there are a million risks to being a content creator as your main focus. You can get canceled. They can do algorithmic changes that just make it really hard to make money if you're not making absolute dog shit slop like all these shorts we see. Don't even get me started on the shorts, dude. I could rant about that for an hour. These dudes will just take someone else's clip, some other viral clip that's just been going viral, and they'll just have their face above it, and they're not even fucking saying anything. They're just looking at it like it's the most degenerate form of content. You could have hardcore gay pornography on YouTube. It would be less degenerate than these shorts fake reactor channels because they're not even reacting. They're not saying anything. They're just making faces, and the faces aren't even legit. They're fake.
Yeah, that's true. That's what's happening right now. People just stamping reels like a video, and then on top there's a face of a person that's reacting to a video, and they're like, "Holy shit!" And they're everywhere. There's like fucking 120 videos of something happening in the video, and then this guy on the top has the same expression, literally the same thing happening. Like it's not even real. They just add him as a kind of that reaction. So people get that, holy shit, he reacted like this, like I need to do that as well. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But that's what actually gets those people views. So that's why they're not gonna stop. And you just need to ignore it. Fucking press like not interested or something. And then you'll get less of that.
Mugged faces where they're going like, they're pretending like they're holding in laughter. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. You've seen these. They're pretending like they're holding in laughter while they're watching some clip that you've seen 1,000 times. They're not even sincerely reacting.
Yeah.
They're pretending to react to a viral clip that's not even their own. It shouldn't. I don't even think it is actually allowed on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that kind of react content is against TOS because you're not adding anything. But they're everywhere. Don't even get me started, man. So there could be algorithmic changes. You could get canceled.
And this guy is not happy about the life at all. As a 35-year-old, huh?
You could, and also
still looks young. If he would just exercise a bit more, might still look good.
even if you
still has a baby
right,
face.
You don't run afoul of the TOS, and you manage to stay on top of the algorithm game and all that. You could just lose relevance. You know, you could just, not that I have any relevance now, but if I were able to build some, you can just lose it.
So how can we avoid it? Can you address that?
Overnight. People are fickle. People age out of things. Generations pass.
And
different.
He's just explaining about things and risks that you're gonna take as a content creator. What else? He's just explaining about his life, that if he's gonna work a regular job, and he's gonna do content, soon someone will realize that he's doing content. They're gonna see his dodgy, edgy jokes, and then he's gonna lose his job. So how can you avoid it? I mean, he included this in the bracket. Is he gonna tell us how to do that? I mean, all he's doing now is just like, yeah, you can just lose relevance, you can get cancelled, you can do all this, all that, all that. All I hear is just negativity.
Different kinds of.
And what is he saying? A little gloomy, but not without optimism. Well, all I'm hearing is fucking pessimism. So I hope he changes. We've got 15 minutes.
And like for example, think of like
Damn, that's a long video.
Famous creator until he's 70. It's possible. If anyone can do it, it's him, because he's already built that brand and he's good at what he does. But for a lot of people, especially people who would just start at 35, can you be secure even if you were to bust your ass off for 10 years building your online thing? You know, is that going to be there 10 years from then, 20 years from then? Are you going to be able to live off of that? Are you going to be able to retire off of that? It's very fickle.
Yeah, you need to have a plan B.
So I can't just be a YouTuber because
Yeah.
I need to make money.
Have a job and be a content creator. Spend at least some time on content creator. Storm ideas.
Now,
how to get
and
popular.
I'm not going to be making that much money off of YouTube in the short term, if at all. And like I said, even if I were to make money on YouTube, it could go away like that. So being a pure YouTuber just isn't in the cards for me either. Just like being a pure whatever, basic normal job isn't really a thing for me either. So I don't really have an option. I don't really have an option other than to just kind of do both things. Normal job, YouTube on the side. If YouTube lets me quit my job, great. But, even that, it's like, would you want to quit your job? Probably not, because YouTube can go away. Maybe you can downsize the amount of time you're working at your job. I don't know. But, even so, I was kind of back. We're back. And I was like, okay, I'll just do both. And fuck, worrying about getting canceled or doxxed or whatever. I'll just do my best to kind of separate the two worlds. I'm not going to, no matter what I do, it's not going to be some super high power position in New York or whatever. It's going to be, a low level, local kind of gig. So that kind of scrutiny isn't on you as much at that level. So I could probably make it work. I could probably do the thing and do content creation if I'm fastidious about keeping the two separate. But then, so I was back. I was like, okay, I'm going to do both. And I don't care about the risks. I mean, I care about them. I'm aware of them. But I'm not going to let that stop me. And then I'm on Reddit again, reading testimonials from people in the industry that I'm looking at. And just like everywhere else, they're saying how terrible the job market is. And again, like I said, people with 15 years experience, high certifications and degrees, they can't find work. And those are like the only people who can find work. If you're going to find work, you're going to be one of those high-level people.
All I'm hearing is pessimism again.
Which is what I would be at 40 years old. It's real hard. Now, again, that's now. 5-10 years from now, it might not be that bad. I don't know. The trends don't look good. To me, it seems like it's just going to get worse until we have a political revolution in this country, a civil war. I mean, that's the whole other thing. Is the future is so uncertain from a civilizational perspective that just throws a monkey wrench into any plans I try to make. So I'm truly at a loss here. I think for now I am going to pursue this thing while also doing this YouTube thing. But
pursue what thing? Job?
I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if I'll decide to switch career, switch to a different path. But while I'm in school, I considered programming, but like again, programming to me seems like
ask AI. Work with AI.
I think IT is the one, right, that gets outsourced and AI-fied. But like I think programming is a little bit more secure. But the problem is I'm not a programmer.
It's not secure anymore.
I'm not even good at math. I think I would probably like the work of if I had the aptitude for it. I think I would like.
Yeah, but you don't have the attitude. So let's get to the point. How can I avoid this, man? Come on.
And I'm gonna be working a day job. Cumberland Farms, Walmart, 2 of them, $70 a week.
Tell me.
Awesome. And at some point soon, I'm probably gonna have to go back to school, get an associate's. But I'm a little terrified.
Terrified. Give me some optimism, please. How can I avoid it? You included this in the brackets, please. It's been fucking 46 minutes. You didn't tell me a single thing how to avoid it.
But not enough to totally assuage my fears. So then I was like, well, the job market's terrible. I wouldn't even be making that much money anyway. I'd be 40 years old.
Okay, you're yapping too much, man. Come on.
But again, am I going to be the next Mr. Beast? Probably not. Again, I wouldn't make that kind of content. That kind of content just isn't.
So what are you gonna make? Tell us now. Come on.
Feel like working
chip it in. You have 600k views, man. You're popping off.
For something that I'm not really invested in spiritually.
What are you gonna make?
That's the
you don't know what to do.
Isn't going anywhere.
Fuck, this is not going anywhere. That's a clickbait, man. He's learning one thing, having a good clickbait. Clickbait videos, clickbait titles.
Lost, confused, full of regret. And if anyone is younger than me, if you're like 20, 25, and maybe some of what I said resonated with you, take my words to heart, dude. You don't want to wake up at 35 years old, still living at home, no real marketable skills, no real degrees, wondering if you're going to be working at Walmart until you're 75 years old, living in welfare housing with roommates. You do not want to be in that position.
Yeah, man.
Now,
make changes.
It's a little doom and gloom. I am hopeful. There is optimism here. I'm 35. It's not that old. I know a lot of people who are older would watch me and go, 35, you're so young. Well, if you're also being realistic, it's not that young. It's a lot older than 20.
Yeah, man. Some people do fucking 20, 30 years of just being librarians, man. Just fucking looking after books, man, and doing fuck all, man. You can spend like 2-3 years of developing yourself, man, and you can be successful if you just need to put your mind to it, right?
But I recognize that, I'm not that old.
Once you are in a deep shit, that's when you can make big changes.
I can, as long as I get to work right the fuck now and figure out
Yeah,
what I'm
man,
doing, which is what I'm
exactly.
doing right now, and this video is a part of it. I could bounce back from this.
I mean, he just said that this video is part of work that he's doing. So he's even considering himself as YouTube as a work, not something like a hobby, not something that he can enjoy, but just put this out. Clickbait. What, is he gonna start publishing even more videos like this? Loser, loser, loser. How to avoid it?
I'll never make as much money as I could have.
What's gonna happen?
I'll always be struggling a little, unless I like hit the lottery or something. I'll always be struggling a little bit more than I would need to.
What is he posting now?
If you're young, if you're in your 20s, get started now. Even if it's here's the thing, even if it's like a boring ass field,
you got a job,
free, but it's got good earning potential.
He's so back.
Handle it. Do it for 10 years until you're 30, 35 years old. You're still super young. You have a decade plus of experience under your belt. You'll probably have some money. Save it, invest it, be smart with your money, so that when you hit 40, even if you don't want to continue doing what you were doing because it's kind of boring and you just did it for the paycheck, well, you're still young enough that you can kind of pivot, but you have experience working in a real field. You have some money under your belt saved and invested, so you can more comfortably pivot to something else that you'd want to do. Because trying to do that from my position, where I'm 35 and I literally have nothing. I have no money. This is so, who owes me? I'm just being honest. I'm just trying to honestly tell my story here. I'm 35 and I literally have nothing. And that is a very scary position to be in.
Yeah, mate.
So if you can hit 35, even if you don't like what you're doing, you can pivot from that. And you want to be able to do that with some security, money, skills, education, so that you'll have that to fall back on if you have to. Or you can maybe transmute that into a new industry that you weren't involved in initially, that you do like. And yeah, this is, I'm sorry this doesn't have like a big resolution to it. It doesn't have a big...
it doesn't have a resolution, man. How am I going to avoid this?
Happy ending. I'm still in the middle of the story right now, or yeah, I guess I'm in the middle of the story. So
Where's the part 2?
I know what's going to happen. I just wanted to get it out. I just wanted to get my thoughts out, express myself. For me, not for you. I hope it helped someone out there, but I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this just because...
Yeah, it didn't help.
My mom.
It didn't help.
My dad lives in another state. I can talk to him. I'm going to talk to him on Friday.
What he said is like, change your life. If you're feeling like you're in a shit spot, change your life now. Start working on yourself. So...
Well. Look what the cat dragged in. 4,000 people. I'm trying to look at the camera, keep looking away. It's like...
It might.
I'm not, like, I'm just going to be doing this the whole time.
He's going to yap more.
Dry heaving all week. I honestly do not know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I've like spent the last week trying to think of things to say, funny things to say, deep things to say, but it's like the more you spend like
Median, come on,
things, the less like real it is,
A man
well
became popular. His video went viral.
Oh, why the fuck did I reveal it? All right. Ugh. This is what I'm doing. This is what I go through. This is what I go through. I'm fucking neurotic. And I'm not saying that to sound interesting, because I know some people think that it's like a character. I'm really not. I am a fucking mess. And I know that a lot of it is probably my lifestyle, the fact that I am fat, and I haven't really smoked weed in a while, but the fact that I'm just generally...
Okay, he's yapping.
Came up. I feel cringy even just talking about it.
Is he going to talk about being
but again, that's like,
viral now? People
are going to call you a grifter. People are going to call you shilly. Whatever. Fuck them, right? I'm broke. I'm broke.
Whoa. What? Yeah, you're gonna get cancelled, mate. Fuck. You have a job now, hold on to it. Nobody's getting hired, everyone's getting fired. GG's. GG's.